As for Nepal, its government is losing everything: friendship with India, confidence of its people and sovereignty. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli thinks that he has won over his people by taking on India. What's happened is quite the opposite. The people of Nepal are protesting against his government. Mr. Oli is being slammed for burning bridges with India, for not being able to handle the pandemic. And guess what? They're also protesting against China for its provocation in Galwan. Will Nepal's map fixing cost Oli his office?
What will you do by scheming to enlarge your country when the people living in it are not happy? Nepal should answer this question. Or maybe China can do it on its behalf. The dragon is good at it, both at quelling unrest and calling the shots for Nepal. Thousands have hit the streets of Kathmandu. They are flashing placards and shouting slogans. Enough is enough is their message to the Oli government. The Prime Minister has failed Nepal in his response to the pandemic and in his conduct of foreign policy. Mr. Oli thinks he has secured his position by altering Nepal's map. Here's why he should rethink.
India is our neighboring nation, and it would be good if both remain united.
In order to resolve issues with India, the government must go with the diplomatic talks.
The people of Nepal have chosen sides. They do not want to burn bridges with India. They do not agree with the Oli government's map fixing. Neither do they support the plot's mastermind, leave alone its endorsement of violence and sour ties. There are protests outside the Chinese embassy. War is a crime, the demonstrators say. China, stop war, promote peace. Like the rest of the world, the people of Nepal too have seen through the dragon's provocation at the Galwan Valley. What is also clear to them is the Oli government's incapability to handle a pandemic. Earlier this month, hundreds of youth marched through Kathmandu, demanding better coronavirus testing and quarantine facilities. They were water cannon. Some of them even arrested. This is the Nepali leadership taking a page from the playbook of the Chinese Communist Party, using state forces to quell protests. But how will the Oli government silence the voices online? Nepalis are registering their protest on social media. The name of this page really says it all. People are unhappy. They want the government to do a better job. But how will Mr. Oli do a better job? He does not even acknowledge the healthcare crisis. The Oli government is busy blaming India. It's incredible. Blaming India for the virus from China. The Nepali government says India is responsible for the rising cases of COVID-19 in Nepal. If Mr. Oli is so keen to blame someone, perhaps Mr. Oli should use a map. A world map, and find out where Wuhan is. We'll wrap with a tip. Use an authentic map. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.